being here.
Okay.
Don't forget.
I'm out.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Wait. Way back to where I am. Okay, Joy.
Erin has Joy share today.
Erin has Joy share today?
Yes.
Erin?
Erin.
She's in the office
Here,
there.
I'll get her out. Joy waits for Noah.
Erin has Joy.
Ready?
Yeah.
I'm always ready for Joy.
So, yesterday I got a new listing, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. These people called us, they have had their house listed, for a while. They got an offer that was good, that was high, and they accepted it, went through inspections, they never even got a repair done, but they kind of heard what the buyer was concerned about, so they did a bunch of repair work based on what they heard before they got it in, and then the whole thing fell apart. And they didn't get into a lot of detail with us, but they basically said that the agent that they were using was not really communicating well with them or with the other side. So just conversation just broke down, and they never, the whole thing fell apart, and they put it back on at a much lower price, and nothing, like no demo, they had any open houses, they didn't do a lot of advertising, like just nothing happened. So they fired their agent, they hired us, and they were like, you guys gotta make this happen for us. So we did a whole revamp, we took some photos, we staged it, everything, put it on the market last weekend, and we've got this past week, we got 2 really good offers. So we're really excited about it.
Yay.
Question, what did you do with the price? Did you back it back up? Or
We did put it up a little bit from its last. Yeah, like it's funny because people came to the open house and everybody knew that it had been on the market before, and nobody said anything about the price. And most people said, yeah, great price. So, what was the price? It was $335, and I think it could have been a little higher, but we just wanted to ding it.
Thanks. Okay, tour today. We don't have Amanda. Do we have? Who are you playing at, Anna? Oh, Steve, do you have some Joy?
It's just I had these clients that sold a house 11 years ago, and 3 years ago, rather 3 years later, they walked into an open house, bought it through the listing agent, and listed their house with the listing that agent, which really hurt. One of those painful things when the client doesn't come back to you. But a couple of weeks ago, they called me up and bought another house. And it was just one of those things that I had kind of given up on that relationship and written it off. And they were really complimentary. They were just that they felt so pressured by that the house that they had bought was in such a high demand area that they would have gotten if they had to work with the estate agent. And yeah, it meant more to me than a lot of new buyers having repeat business come back. Really, and getting affirmations that they appreciate what you did.
That's good. Thanks, Steve. Okay, tour. We don't have Amanda here today. Did I see Becca? I knew I did. You'll drive? Anybody else?
Have you guys ever seen the movie Baby Driver?
Oh.
So good.
I heard it's good.
Yeah, that's what it's like to ride with Becca. That's what I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That's funny because I thought I just saw Patty Sue go, oh, okay.
Get there.
Okay, so Becca's driving today, if anybody wants to jump on board. All right, so we have a few announcements. Alberta Street Fair is this Saturday, right? Right? Yeah, this Saturday. Alyssa?
Still have a couple of spots available for volunteers. Come scoop ice cream with us. It's gonna be really freaking fun. And it's super great. We're gonna hang out together.
And be sure,
For the later shifts, when it's the more part of the day, I know, but let's do this together.
Shay and I, my daughter, who's very, very, very sociable, we will be kicking it off here, so you guys want to come, we'll be ready. What time are we here?
Well, we start, our first shift starts at 10, the parade is at 11. You have a couple of parade spots still available as well. So if you want to just get that parade on, walk around with a little house on your head. I think that's helpful for you.
Greg, are you guys walking in the parade?
Huh?
Will you be in the parade?
No, I mean, no.
He's 10 for that ice cream, get a scoop.
I'm sorry.
The parade ends at the stage. My son is going to be playing at that stage right at that time. So come and see him rock out a little bit.
What time is the parade supposed to end?
Well, I think it's like 11:20 or something. Not a lot for
Okay. And remember, if you do show up, even if you're not actually working, if you show up, make sure you have some business cards on you, because there's opportunity. Yeah, there's lots of opportunity here.
And free t-shirts.
Yeah.
We've got a new t-shirt design that's pretty fabulous.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
We're a street fair, and next week, I don't know when it is, Friday, I'm sure it'll be called.
And if you want to go to Saturday, but have another one, so you can help.
Look at that.
See?
Natalie.
Full service.
And then I just thought I'd mention, I don't think we've mentioned it yet, our company picnic. Coming
Oh,
up?
so fun.
That's coming up on, mark your calendars, because it is crazy fun. Saturday, September 9th from 2 to 6. What? When? Where? Oh, it will be same place as last year, out in Troutdale on the Sandy River. Private house, big lawn,
Big beach.
big beach. They let us use their kayaks and their water toys, and yeah, we'll barbecue. 2 to 6, Saturday, September 9th. It's pretty quick. You can be there from the office, especially on a Saturday, in about 20 minutes. So it's Troutdale, but it's not that far, right? Okay. Okay, I think that's it. Should we look at our board?
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is interesting.
6 offers.
6, yeah, look at that. Northeast, southeast, 4 offers, 6 offers, 3.5 times over, 2 times over. That's interesting because we've been seeing everything coming in right at, right around list price. The others still are, but they must have been pretty great houses, were they? Yeah. Is it your house? Is that why you're smiling? Anna?
Yeah, I think it's a good location. It was an RA house, a good location, but it was well, we had a type of activity with non-rentals. I think you move them on the record.
The connection. What was the connection in southeast?
I had met the seller at Mutual Friends Party a year ago.
Oh, really?
I had met them, we just had old mutual friends, and they're listing it themselves, or with one of those companies that just is on the list. So when I went to the open to check out the house, she said, I don't know if you remember me. Of course I remember you. We talked for a long time about how you want to be a realtor. My friend was like, nursery break.
Well, that's interesting that that was the situation, because I was just going to ask you if you presented in person, because otherwise, just to see your name. So that goes back to the idea of I mean, in this case, it worked for you because you were dealing directly with the seller, but had there been a list agent, you know, they might not, she may not have remembered your name. What?
I think I still would have benefited.
Yeah.
From it. But it was, I knew that I needed to go personally.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know I knew.
Yeah, that's great.
I
Yeah.
had a little, I benefited from a connection of yours this last week, actually. You've been mailing the newsletter to the head of permits at the city, of street fair permits, and that was, I don't know if you guys read the title of our newsletter, or the letter that I wrote about the most important investment that we can make in our houses and into our community, and about the fact that we also offer that if any of your clients will throw a block party, we'll reimburse them. And the city called, or she called, and she was like, we're looking at this, we're so excited, thank you for understanding the value of what we do here at the city, and they're trying to remove barriers. They're even making it free for anyone in the Lentz neighborhood this year to do a street party, and they're providing free barriers. And anyway, they're gonna give all of us a little free PR on their blog, and it was so cool, because she mailed the newsletter and called up, so, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, if you guys hear of any of your clients that are having street parties, let us know, because we will reimburse them for the permit.
You should send out a postcard or something.
Yeah, it was in our newsletter, but
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
Cool. Okay, where are we? Tour. Somebody have anything? Are we done here? Yeah, we're done.
I'm holding a party here that's listing on it is a 3,600 square foot house, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and it's available. And I will have delicious pizza. So, oh, it's 1017 Southeast 26th. Oh, it's April.
Hey, Natalie, it's not on the tour sheet. So I don't know, you might want to text them and tell them.
1017 Southeast 22nd.
Is it on the back?
Is it there? No, it's not on the, unless maybe they just added it. It's not on my tour sheet that you printed.
Third one down.
That's Dulcinea.
They updated, they just.
All right, maybe they just got it later.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else?
Kristen Lincoln has one in 1920 Southwest Nevada, 40525. It is a 4-3, big light-filled daylight ranch on a double lot at the end of the dead-end street across from field. Super private, but in the heart of town. Owner was a master gardener, and we do a couple of cosmetic updates with voters, so it's really clean and livable. You will have snacks and sound.
And what time is it open? Oh, 11 to 1. I see it. I got it. 11 to 1 today. Okay. Dulcinea, you have a couple, don't you?
We do have 4821 Southeast Peg for 335. This is home to tattoo offers in on. It is on lockbox. We're going to be reviewing later today.
1017 Southeast 22nd for Kari and Erica. That is under Dulcinea's name. Yeah, I just see it. I see it now.
Oh, yeah, it's probably Kari and Erica out.
Oh, so that's why it's on here. Okay. Sorry. I'm a little slow.
Yeah.
How about you, Jim?
Yeah, I got a listing in the Civic. If you ever want to have season tickets to Tinder, you can buy this condo instead. It has a view into the stadium, so you can watch half the game. It's 585, 2 beds, 1.5 baths, huge views, 13th floor, two parking spaces. Just a really good price for that much condo in that building. Really, really well run.
And it's on Lockbox today. And it says 11 to 2? Just 11 to 2. All right, thanks. And then Chris Speth has 2105 Southeast 31st Avenue, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 739. open, it's a tutor, open today from 11 to 1. It says perfect combination of period charm and modern updates. There you go. Okay, anybody else? Anything upcoming? Anything we have to talk about? Listings? No? Oh,
I don't know those systems, but, okay, I don't want to take too long, but, the property I mentioned a couple weeks ago, 309 Southeast 33rd, we'll go live around 9, and so, you're the first to know, and there's a connection to it. And, it was not on my box, so I will try to be there a lot. My questions, I think somebody else was over there on Sunday, I don't know that it was
you said it's not on RMLS yet?
tomorrow night.
Oh, it's going on tomorrow. Oh, good. Okay. Great. Great. Yes, ma'am?
On Thursday evening, Friday morning, I have a one-bedroom, one-bath condo in Piedmont, North Commercial. It's, in weird unit, so it's very quiet, has a quietable backyard patio, storage in the basement, 245.
Great. So our statistics, let's see what's going on at the living room this week. Well, let's start with our online presence. We had, this quarter, we have so far had 200,371 visits to our website.
Jesus.
I know. Isn't that, I read that and I was like, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. 200,000 visits to the website this quarter. Why are you looking at me like that?
I just hope my
Math lady.
bio's in order. I hope my bio looks really, really good and complete.
That's a really good point.
And that I've spent some time on my blogs representing myself to the best ability.
Just saying.
Just saying, God.
Yeah. Gosh, maybe I might go check mine.
Yeah.
The meeting's over, right?
Yeah.
My cartoon doesn't look too brooding.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting lasers out the front of mine.
And speaking of blogs, too bad she's not here this morning. Kristen Lincoln is
Killing it.
our top blogger this week with 823 views for her garden oasis on a large lot. And then the second highest viewed blog is also Kristen Lincoln. 200,000 visits to the website.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Her blog, I think her bio looks really good.
Does it?
It's like super complete.
And then her second one was garden level, 2-bed, 2-bath condo, 652 views. Interesting. I know, I was like, really?
Garden seems to be the key.
Garden, maybe garden it's summertime.
Yeah.
All
That's a
those
good
people pent up in hot little apartments with no AC.
Right.
Wishing if I had a garden.
Yeah.
Yearning for an oasis.
Yeah.
Googling garden.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So, sales, year-to-date sales, 341 million. This last week, we closed 7.9 million. We have currently 98 active listings, which is up, I think 7 from last week. We're at 91 last week. 135 deals currently in transaction, and our average days on market is 24, which is considerably less than the city market, the overall city average. Our average home price is $464,000.
You know what I thought was interesting is we were talking yesterday about Diane goes into Transaction Point on Friday and there's 90-something deals that need like some sort of updating review.
They need something.
They need something. So I thought, that's interesting because I keep hearing everyone talking about like, oh, it's really like slower out there and market's cooling off and what's going on. And I thought, because agents aren't known to complain about nothing. So I thought, well, what's going on? Like if we have 90 transactions, but the market's slower, and then I just thought, oh, maybe we're not used to work being as easy as it is, and it feels slower. We're just not as busy because it doesn't take 15 offers to get in somewhere. So then I just wanted to go back and I looked at our stats from the beginning of the summer. I thought was really interesting is it's actually gotten busier. So just here in our office, but this is probably a pretty good section of the market to look at because we think, well, our office has the #1 market share in Portland, so we're big enough to know that it's not just like, just me and my buds are having this experience right now in the market, right? There's enough of us to be like, oh yeah, that's probably a pretty good picture of what's happening. But it's just so interesting, right? Because we actually, the deals that we can do, we're able to do. So I think it's just changing how we feel about the market a little bit. But July 3rd, we'll start there right before the 4th of July weekend. 119 pending here in the office. On July 10th, about the same, went down a little bit, 110. July 17th, 120. July 24th, 141. And then we've stayed steady. I think you just said 139, 138. Yeah, so 141, 140, 138. So I think this is really interesting as we think about, you know, the market slowing down instead of it being like, oh God, that's so scary. Like, oh gosh, this is so great because we're actually able to put together. It looks like from the numbers, we're actually able to put together more deals than when we felt like it was just raining business on our heads. So I just like to look at the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
Taking less time to get things into transactions, so you're not working so hard.
You're not working so hard. And I know that I know I get uncomfortable if I have a couple hours to myself in the afternoon. I'm not used to it.
I would kill for a couple of hours to myself.
I know. You see what I'm saying? You would think, oh God, the market's crashing. This couldn't be just me having a couple hours.
I would probably keep picking up my phone and making sure it was working.
Yeah, like it's broken.
What's going on?
Yeah, anyway, well, I think that's a good metaphor for don't pick up your phone thinking it's broken or keep talking about the market like it's broken. It may just be a really good time to like get back, call our agents. If you find yourself with some free time, you feel like it's slowing down, call all those buyers and, you know, and tell them like, our board, I mean, this is so fun to be able to share with folks right now and get them back into the market and write 1 or 2 deals or offers for them rather than 15. So.
Yeah, it is definitely busier though because Iris made a point of calling me, I think on Thursday, to apologize because she dropped 30 deals into Transaction Point. She's like, I'm so sorry. I know you're really busy. And
have a good weekend.
I just did this to you, so sorry. I'm like, okay, thanks for the heads up.
Enjoy your day.
Enjoy your, yeah. Guess I know what you're doing this weekend, huh?
Yeah.
It's fine. Right. Okay, so City of Portland. Average list price overall is $651, up about $6,000 from last week, still down from the end of June. Percentage of listings with price reductions holding steady at 45%.
1 out of 2.
The math amazes me. Sorry. Okay, average days on market, we are creeping up a little bit, 64 days. And what did I just say we are for the, see? That's what you want to tell your sellers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pay me the 6% because I'm going to get your house sold a month earlier.
And
Month and a half.
And I will earn you $18,000 more than the average list price of the market. Well, that's pretty good. Like, you know,
It's only, yeah, 18,000.
it's only 2% of the average
Look, see, there's the math
listing.
again.
That's, you know,
Math that impresses me so
yeah,
much.
you could pay 5%, or you could pay me 6 and earn another 1%. I don't know. What do you think? My bio's in good order. Call me. Sorry.
Okay. Inventory is a little bit down though. So end of June, our inventory was at 1562. Last week we were at 1881, and this week we're at 1836. I wonder if that's people are just not listing property as we're coming into August.
Yeah.
Maybe that's things are quieting down a little bit.
Yeah, I went on a listing appointment with an agent yesterday, and he gave them the advice to wait until September.
He did.
Lance Mars, he's got pretty good advice, but, yeah.
So
And
Giselle, are you available for?
no. I brought my calculator, like this hype man. No, but I was like, oh, I bet a lot of agents are, are saying that right now, the last 2 weeks of summer. But market tells me they can go on now and do okay too. So.
Yeah, it probably would. Yeah.
But if I'm an agent and want to take a break, I'm going to ask them to go in September.
In September.
Yeah.
Well, and I have actually told a couple of people who are talking about listing. I've said, oh, there's not a lot of buyers out there, and agents are on vacation. They're hard to find right now. So let's wait till September. I say that because I don't want to do anything right now.
Making it up.
It's hot outside.
Too hot.
It's too hot. Yeah, I could. Okay, so and then the market action index, which we're going to be keeping an eye on that, which answers the question, how's the market? So I think that's a really good thing as we go, into the coming months. We are right now, it's still a strong seller's market, we all know that, but it's still on that downward trend. So last week we were at 52.5, 30 is the break point between the seller's market and the buyer's market, and this week we are at 51.1. So it's just slowly ticking down. Is that a result of just summer? Or I think September will probably give us some indication of that. Okay. So our discussion today, I thought we'd talk about appraisals coming in low because it's something that we normally, not normally, but if we're going to see that happen, it's usually the beginning of the year. Prices haven't set. There's no data out there, and so we're kind of struggling with that. And, we always think, well, by spring, late spring, early summer, all of those homes in the beginning of the year will have sold, we'll have new data, and, things will get even out a bit. But I've had a number of calls in just probably like the last 4 or 5 weeks with people who are getting low appraisals, and it just feels so crazy. And as Jake said to me last week, he's like, I don't even know what to do with this. I haven't seen this forever. I don't even know how to do it anymore. So thought it might be a good topic. Paul, do you have anything you want to throw out there for us regarding? No?
About the market?
Yeah, just in general, like your thoughts on, I think you and I talked about it yesterday, and you said you're not really seeing that too much.
I'm not saying it much. When it does happen, it seems to be higher purchase prices. Sometimes you might be 25 or 50 grand off, and sometimes people are putting so much down that there's really no effect to rate or any changes like maybe mortgage insurance, but on the lower purchase price. When it does happen, that creates some problem for sure. Oftentimes, someone putting 5 or 10% down, they don't have more to put down, so there's nothing to really work with there. That's where the seller can be reducing their sales price to get a closed transaction, or they're kind of meeting in the middle. And meeting in the middle, meaning if you were 10 grand off on appraised value, sometimes we're meeting between each and maybe 5 grand loss. But there are good cases that if you dispute an appraisal, and I think Jen is going to talk to that a little bit, she brought up a piece on that. If you're looking to dispute it, there are processes that we go through as banks, mortgage brokers to submit that. And oftentimes the influence from typically the buyer's agent is very helpful in providing comps or even a little bit of dialogue about the property, why that buyer's agent might think the value's there. But I haven't seen it personally. We had very big months the last couple of months, and I haven't seen it on my part.
You haven't.
No, and then as a company, we're just a few. But Jen had a good story here, and she was like, she has a good example. In the event you want to dispute about there's some processes.
All right, good. Yeah, I think it's interesting because I know that a couple people had said that maybe it's the escalating offers, and I was thinking, our board, we've got the couple at the top, but for the last few weeks, it seems like we've been coming in right at full price, so it's interesting. I'm wondering, is it, for those who are getting those low appraisals, I mean, I think we always have those weird outlier properties that are just difficult to appraise, and, there are no comps. But what about the properties that, are in our neighborhood that are, coming in right at list price and then still not appraising? I think, David?
Well, I wonder if when we write in that the, buyer agrees to cover the appraisal gap or whatever, and then the appraiser sees that, like, oh, this is easy. I don't know.
I think though that it doesn't everybody pretty much, I mean, it seems like most offers are coming in that way. That I know when it first started happening, I a few years ago, I had a couple of appraisers call me and say, why did you write this? Do you not think the house is worth it? But I mean, I don't know, I think, isn't it pretty standard language now in most offers? You think? No, you wouldn't write that?
Well, I have, but it's only in competitive situations.
Yeah.
But I would say, at least in my humble world, less than 50% of buyer side transactions have that condition.
And do you
If
think
I get away with it, I'll put it separate then.
you will? That's a good idea. Not bring attention to it?
If I'm asked about it by a field appraiser, I'll say, this is the way to compete with cash. It's not an indication that I don't believe the values here. Substantiate my opinion when it comes. I think the best argument is, look, we know we're competing with cash. That's why this is here. It's not here as an indication you don't believe the value.
Just want to give the sellers a little bit of security. Yeah, exactly. That's a great answer. So you're not seeing you haven't had any low appraisals then recently?
One is odd. It was a really high income in Northeast this year, and the field appraiser agreed with the value that we got. And then the reviewer, sitting at their desk in Arizona or wherever, decided that they thought it was $10,000 lower than the field appraiser's appraisal of that. And we resolved it by just saying, buyer, you need to bring in more money. And buyer did it. But ironically, that client of mine probably has the most volume of appraisals in the state of Oregon. And I have he might probably have 1 or 2 phone calls a week. We run when I say 10. But he was just telling me last week, he said, Jimmy, I'm coming in high on over 50% of my appraisals.
Well, that's
He
interesting.
saw that as an indication of the market was slowing. Because he was saying he's not having a hard time appraising anything right now.
Interesting. So I talked to a different appraiser yesterday who said that on average, out of 100 appraisals, he usually sees 1 to 2 coming in low out of 100, and right now he's seeing about 5 coming in low. So 5 out of 100.
How about a show of hands if you've had a low appraisal in the last 3 months?
In the last 3 months. So talk to us. Tell us what Tony, where are you at with yours?
We're just gonna split the difference. But what happened was, so right when we were gonna list it, we felt really good about a price of $450. But when we revisited it and looked at the market, we decided to go down to $439, just because that's what we saw. But we got 3 offers in at $475. An acceptable one. The appraisal came in 20,000 short at $455.5. So we wanted to dispute it, but I kind of want to talk to Jen and Paul about this. The buyer's lender came back with a list of things that I had to do, as well as the buyer's agent had to do to dispute it. And we just got into a conversation of, like, instead of disputing it, let's just try to work it out with what we got. And that's where we're going instead of disputing, because the financial contingency ends, I think, on like tomorrow, and the appraiser needed 48 hours to review it, so we would have had like 6 hours to get all the docs and letters in that we needed to, and we just decided that wasn't
you not getting more than your original price, more like?
Oh, yeah, we're still getting about 15 over. But it's kind of rough when they see 475.
It's interesting though that you were gonna go 450 and then you said, no, we have to go
And we sat
439.
down- Exactly, we sat
So-
down with them and we're like.
so they
this is what we're
knew,
saying,
yeah.
So now at this point, we're like thinking we still squeezed everything we could have out of it. But yeah, it's kind of hard to balance their expectations of 475 to
Right.
467.
Jim?
I was just gonna say, of the people who had low appraisals, I'd be curious to know, I'm thinking about the stable behind me. I mean, column A could be, okay, those of us who had low appraisals, did you see it coming? I mean, we're all smart enough to know, and we think we're testing the market a little bit. I'm kind of curious, if there's a correlation there. And another column could be, did you or the other agent meet the appraisal with comps? I'm just kind of always curious.
And that's always my first question when something comes in low is, how much communication was there with the appraiser? Hi, Erin.
We had a really great one. This is a client who bought a house in Happy Valley, and they offered at list price, which was $650. And it had been on the market a while, but when I looked at other houses in Happy Valley that were similar, that seemed sort of like the trend. And we had it had an ADU as well. And the ADU had its own address. So instead of being like the house's address and then B, it had a totally different number. And the people who lived there did that because they wanted to rent it out, and they wanted the renter to feel like they were in their own separate space and not part of the house. So we had the appraisal, and it was done by this woman who I've run into a number of times over the years. I think she's been in business 20 years. And came in value, and she had some comps that were not great, but, supported the price. And so that was great, and then it went to underwriting, and somebody sitting in that office in Southern California valued it at $410. So it was a $650 house, and she said, this is a $410. So we had already had a lot of challenges with this deal, and when our clients found out about it, they went crazy. Screamed at us, screamed at their mortgage broker, told us we had to fix it, it was nuts. We had to have a second appraisal. And I got a phone call from the appraiser to schedule. And when she called me, she said, this is really weird. I just got a call to schedule this appraisal, but I just appraised this house. And I was like, great, can you just do the same appraisal again? And she said, no, I can't do it again. But I ended up having a great conversation with her about how she picked the comps. And it turned out that this person who had reviewed it and valued it at $410 had no idea what to do with the ADU. And so that somehow made me think that it decreased the value of the property. And so this now the second appraiser calls, and he's going to meet me out there on a Sunday. And I think normally it's the listing agent who goes to the appraisal, which she did for the first time around. But I said, I'm going this time because this has got to come in value. So I went, I spent a long time with the appraiser of the house, and I had comps. The comps I gave him, he said that he had. He said, I have all of those. And then he turned in his report, and it came in at value again, using none of the comps that I had given him, and none of the comps that the other appraiser had used. And our mortgage broker said, I think this is actually a worse appraisal than the first one in terms of the comps. But it all worked out in the end. It was a super stressful week, but eventually it was fine. And it was expensive appraisal. So it was like $2,000. Because it was this emergency rush came out of this.
I bet you paid $2,000 the first time it would come through.
Eldridge, did you have something?
Yeah, I've got a couple weird ones this month. The one that I'm dealing with today is going to be It's out on Vista Hills. It's a large family home, 2,500 square feet. All the comps came in. I determined it was about $675, and they dropped the price to $650. We offered $635 and got it, and the appraisal came back at $625. So, you know, it's a pretty big gap from what the listing agent thought the home was valuable, the way I thought, and so on and so forth. So, we got 3, maybe 5 more comps to support our costs, and then we'll determine if it's going to work out or not, hopefully by the end of the day. But that was a little confusing. I had a REO condo that came, that should have been appraised for 160, that came in at 190, with comps that were 3-4 miles away. So I was very confused about that. And then I had another home in Northeast that was 299 that appraised at, we got it for 279 and appraised it at 280. So, you know, it's just been all over the place. So it's been a weird month for appraisals.
So do you know, as Jim was asking, do you know if the list agent, or were you meeting the appraiser? I mean, is that conversation happening?
I did not meet the appraiser. I know that for, we were confident about the one in Vista Hills. We should have been. You know, that was just kind of funky and weird that it came down so low, $75,000 for where we thought, no, it could have been. The one that's in Northeast, the appraiser was met, so that probably goes to show that it came in exactly where, you know, we had put our offer at. It's 20,000 under what they had listed at, but, you know, it came in at the bottom price, so.
I think, you know, and I wonder too, did you, if you looked at the comps that you got that came in low, if they were in Vista Hills? Because I mean, that's a pretty, you know, everything around it is pretty inexpensive. So if they wander outside of there.
So, you know, they did, you know, the larger, you know, the 1 mile radius, you can kind of see from that, but they were taking things on main roads that, I mean, I've been in these towns, and, you know, the house, the southern house is 10,000 square foot lot. These were 5,000 square foot lots that were on, private roads.
Outside of Vista Hills.
Very weird, I mean, just really weird properties.
Yeah.
And they had a large group of perfectly fine comps, but they just went with the weirdest ones in the bunch. So, you know, hopefully we work it out today.
Jen?
I lost my voice this week in spring as softball players. So, Kristen Lincoln and Stacy had a deal that came in $100,000 low. Like, I don't know if you guys might have heard about it. About 2 months ago, and it was with a California lender, and they would not let them do a second appraisal. It was a bungalow on overload. The appraiser wasn't taking into account the view, and all the comps were just regular bungalows, like with no view. And so they, after wasting about a week and a half with the California lender trying to dispute it, trying to get a second appraisal, they finally got told no. So Kristen and Stacey referred to me. We ordered the appraisal, and I was like, you know, it might come in, it might still come in low, we don't know, you know. And sure, it came in right at value. I couldn't believe it. We closed it. So
From 100,000 low.
100,000 low. Yeah. It was. I mean, we have a great pool of appraisers. You know, every once in a while one will come in low, but not very often. And I always like to talk to my clients about. Like, think about what you're manifesting when you're thinking about worrying about the appraisal, you know. Like, envision the email that you get from me and my assistant that says, your appraisal, it came in right at value, congratulations, here's a copy of it, it still needs to be cleared by underwriting, but here you go. You know, and like, think of that instead of thinking, you know, worrying about the numbers.
Well, I think that's a really great lesson too, when we've got clients who are moving into town and they want to use their lender from Wisconsin or Michigan, wherever.
The UP?
Yeah. You know, I think that our neighborhoods are so interesting and varied, and maybe that's the case all over the country, but that can make a difference.
It also seems like the idea of an ADU possibly bringing the value down is interesting. I mean, I can imagine someone thinking that, oh, does that mean like there's an RV park kind of thing? Like, you know, like, you know, because
it's a rental in the neighborhood.
It's a trend
yeah.
here
Right.
that obviously brings value up, but it's I think it's a little bit of a bubble, like an ADU kind of infill thing that maybe other, communities don't.
Yeah. Well, if you say ADU to somebody who's not from here, they're like, a what? They don't- yeah.
Right.
Andrea?
I spoke with you a couple weeks ago about this appraisal that came in. It came at 330, our sales price is 340, seller won't budge. My buyers looked at the appraisal and said, this is really inadequate. And I had to agree, and they weren't going to bring in more money either. They both thought that they could, but they just didn't want to because they felt it was so long. And looking over the appraisal, the lender, I don't know this person, they not the lender. And he seemed to think, oh, well, just have the buyer bring in $10,000, no big deal. And I said, really, I think that we're gonna dispute this appraisal. Looking at the comps, he's used the appraiser used 2 cash only and lock on sale, like family friend sale. Those were, and he used just the 3 comps. And that was that. And when lender kind of, they took their sweet time talking to us about the dispute, the seller's agent said, I'm really a buyer's agent, didn't bring me in, so I just put together my comps and turned my things in. And at the end of it, it took them almost 4 weeks, but they threw out the appraisal finally, and the writer looked at it and threw it out, and the bank is signing a new appraisal, which is nice and everything, but my person is actually, she has a place to live. So it was just, why would it take 4 weeks? And so crazy. I just couldn't understand. And who's this appraiser that, did they even, it was really confusing for me. And I feel like I'm the only person that, understood the market. I just didn't know. Yeah, we'll see how that new one, appraisal happened yesterday, we'll see how that new one works out. And luckily the seller is totally on board with waiting for that $10,000.
So, Jen, do you want to talk a little bit about when an appraisal comes in low and if somebody wants to contest it?
Yeah. I brought an example with me. Honestly, I didn't think this one was gonna go. I didn't think we were gonna get the value, but this was an agent, non-living room agent. It only came in 15,000 low, but I'll pass this around. You guys can see, when he turned this into me after about 3 days, 2 to 3 days of doing research, I was blown away by the details on this dispute. He went and read through the entire appraisal, and normally when we have a form that you guys fill out. We don't know what the properties are like you guys do. So I always send the form to my agent and ask, explain why this comp is better or worse or whatever. And usually I get a half, a lot of agents don't take quite the time that this particular one did. I was really surprised by this. And so you read through it, he goes and talks about the finishes and how the other comps don't have the finishes or the ceiling height or I'll let you read through it so you can see. But we got the entire 15,000 for his buyer. So
Really?
I was really surprised by that. At first I was like, are you sure you want to, we're going to waste a little bit of time here. This is probably going to take about, what is it, 4 to 7 days really to get back. And so potentially, you have a week and it's just sitting right where you were, and when you got the appraisal. So, but if we turn the appraisal, or if you dispute the appraisal, our underwriter has to, okay, this is not underwriter have to look at it. I think that's a possibility. They have to appraise it, then we can go ahead and dispute. You can't just dispute any appraisal. It has to make sense to an underwriter. But if it does make sense, when we send you the forms, you guys explain why. Why another property is a better comp, or a worse comp, and then we turn it back in. But this is it's just a really good explanation. Very, very detailed.
So I know.
What do you want to know about that?
No, that's good. I do know that it's great. Can you guys could
this year, and I think this is like probably the only one that got that feeling, but we don't have very many low appraisals.
Jim, I think what would be better is all connected property appraisal and you just kind of get better kind of stat for you on that. Maybe just kind of have a thing to 100, how many do they see? I'll send that to you.
We could relay that to our clients. Hey, that's a good point.
I'll send something else today.
Well, I've been told by an appraiser,
Miguel Swan.
I was told by an appraiser that never provide a comp that is less than your purchase price. Even if you're thinking, well, I'm giving you this one and it has one less bathroom, and so I've taken 10,000 off, so this is why this is a good comp. And you know, the appraiser's like, the appraiser should be the one to make the determination about what the value of things are, and you don't want to start adjusting. So if you are going to be contesting an appraisal, you definitely want to be providing them with comps that are at list price or at purchase price or better. So that's one thing to take into consideration. I just think, I don't know, how many people do meet appraisers? You guys are so good. I mean, and if it's not just on the listing side, if the list agent doesn't show up, or isn't going to, do you still go as a buyer's agent? I think even in our listing presentations, I think that's something that we should be talking about, that I will be there to meet the appraiser. I think that's something that a seller isn't going to think about, isn't going to be aware of, you know, and that's money to them. And when we talked last week or the week before about service, I think that's one more thing that we can say that we make sure to do. Erin?
One of the things with a brand, this is noted, I think, on this sheet that has done, it's not just about the comp, but it's about making sure they have all the right information. I've had several appraisals where the address, they had like the county was wrong, or what we had offered my client, what the buyer had offered was, they had the number wrong. And so just to be there to make sure they have all the correct information about the property, because it's always hard to dispute them, even if it's a mistake by the appraiser. And then the other, well, anyway, yeah, the mistakes thing is big, because otherwise it's just your opinion against somebody else's. I remember what I was gonna say, we all get phone calls and emails from appraisers who are using one of our properties in their search, and for my early years in real estate, I would just ignore them. Like, I don't want to talk to these people, I don't want to help these people. But now I would tell them everything, because I feel like the more information they have can really help, especially like on this sheet with all the specific information about finishes and all of that. It seems like it's super helpful. And then the appraisers appreciate it, and then I hope that they remember me, and that I call them back, and I respond to their email, and then, work with me when it's my appraisal.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's huge. Especially, and I think it's the same appraisers will keep calling you back for different things. And yeah, I'm with you. I always hope that they're appraising on one of mine. Like, hi, remember me? And I would say too, one of the things that I do whenever an appraiser calls me to set up an appointment, I just put them right in my phone, and I put them under appraiser with the address, because there's nothing more frustrating in the end when you're like, what happened, and we need to talk to the appraiser, and nobody's got the number anymore, right? And you did have it at one point right on your phone. So I would highly recommend that you actually save those on your phone, at least until the deal's done. Yeah.
I would say I've taken to, when the appraiser contacts me, I've taken to doing that too. They direct me to iCal and notes I took who they are and anything that we discussed in the conversation. And then I send to my co-agent an email that confirms appraisal booked, this is who they are, this is their phone number, because I so many times I'm like, oh gosh, what was their phone number? And you're going back with your texts and everything. So yeah, that's a good thing too.
Yeah, I just save it. Yeah, I just save it in my contacts under appraisal. So they're there.
One tip, we had a class in Southeast where the head of, I think it was First Choice Appraisal Management Company, saw it. He said, do not call in comps when you give them to the appraiser, because appraisers get pissed off easily about that. He said, call it recent data, it's sales data. Don't call it
Sales
comps.
data. Call it
Here's
sales,
some, here's some recent data for you.
recent
Something
data.
that shows how subjective these things are. If you're worried about the appraiser's mood,
Yeah. And you can, if you guys go to meet them, and they turn out to be total assholes,
Tickle them?
you can do that. You can bring your ding ding to Or if they do say anything inappropriate, you can write at that moment request a new appraiser. That was part of the discussion. If you feel like if
They were mean
immediately
to
come out
you?
of the gate and say, oh, this, say something where you feel like it's going to be an unfair appraisal, you can immediately write out of the gate, say, request a new appraiser. You can't after you get a loan report.
So like many years ago when I had my house, when we refinanced our house and the appraiser got out of the car and I was standing there and I said, hi, and he goes, yeah, this ain't gonna, no.
Yeah, new appraiser.
Wow.
You didn't tickle them.
No, I was like, just come in, just.
Jen, can you confirm, I've heard before that if you have an appraiser you don't want, if you request them specifically, then you don't.
To not have them?
If you say you want them, then they won't give them to you. I've heard that before.
If there's a complaint in the law, probably at the appraisal management company, perhaps you do not have to have, I don't know exactly. Do you know? Can you request not to have a specific appraiser?
Oh, yeah.
To not have a specific appraiser.
I think it's tricky though, because I've had some where I've showed up with my comps and literally all they've done is grunted, haven't even made eye contact with me, just cranky, and I'm like, crap, this is gonna suck. And it comes in a beautiful appraisal, at value, no problems, it's all good. And then I've had others where they've been totally friendly, engaging, whatever, and they completely were off the mark. So you just, it's hard to tell. They do a finicky bunch.
You would know.
You would know, huh? I didn't say it, she did.
Let the record reflect.
What?
Let the record reflect.
Yeah, that was.
Commingling with the enemy.
Veronica's husband is an appraiser.
Okay, now you said it.
Now I said it.
It's out.
So as long as it's that way.
A
So
good
has
one.
he said anything, has he commented at all on the market recently, or?
Not really.
They keep their
the only
world
ones I
separate.
really hear from him are the ones that are like, where there is an overabundance of data supporting a lower value. And
The agents
and
are
then-
giving it.
Yeah, that he has.
That he has.
That he's found, the agents, it's just out there. And then he ends up with the agents and the lender freaking out on it. He's like, show me something, show me something, because all of this is showing X. So how can I ignore these 10 comps that all say X when you want me to be a Y? So that's when you usually hear about it. But it's just really, and there are situations, we all know those situations where it's just not there. It's not gonna happen. So those are the ones he gets frustrated at, where everybody just wants him to kind of
Just pick,
yeah,
just
make bricks
go
without
everything.
straw. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Okay, on that, I think that's the end.
It's glorious.
Yeah.
This is great. Like, put this in a
Yeah.
folder.
I know.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming.